Now we're going to teach you a very simple, very basic series of poses to help you sleep better. You can use them before you go to bed if you have difficulty getting to sleep, to balance your energy, to calm your nervous system. And you can also use them in the middle of the night if you wake up and have a difficult time getting back to sleep. So you'll begin this series lying on your back with your knees bent and the soles of your feet on the floor. Now take your belt and wrap the belt around the ball of the left foot. You can use a men's tie or a belt from home. It just needs to be long enough so that you can drop your elbows down to the floor and keep the upper body open and relaxed. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, press your left thigh away from your torso, extending the thigh bone away from you. With your breath, you inhale to lengthen and then you exhale to deepen. So she's already done about 2 breaths, so we'll take 3 more breaths here. Long inhalation. On the exhale, drop the sitting bone down and extend the leg. So even if it's just a tiny micro action. 2 more breaths. And you notice that the face, the throat, and the chest stay nice and soft and relaxed. And after those 5 breaths, you take the belt into your left hand. Right hand descends to the right thigh. Keep both sides of the pelvis level to the floor and open the left leg out to the side. This will stretch the inner groin and the inner thigh area and creates a little bit more openness in your hips. So she's taken about 2 breaths here now. Add 3 more. A long breath in and breathe deeply into your low belly. That has a very calming effect on the body. And every time you breathe out, you extend longer through the leg. 1 more breath here into the belly and exhale, extend the leg long. On the next inhale, lift the leg back up. Now, lift your right leg up to meet the left leg and place the belt around the ball of the right foot. Descend the left leg. Now, on this side, we're going to show you a different variation. Descend your left leg to the floor and press the inner thigh down so that both sides of the low back again remain level. This is a little bit more of a challenging variation, but it can feel quite nice. Breathe in deeply and wrap the outer hip down and forward. Thigh descends. 3 more breaths here for a total of 5. Again, breathing into the low belly. Nice, long, even breath. And after those 5 breaths, it's more of a challenge here to keep this outer left hip down to the floor. We're going to open the leg out to the side, belt into the right hand. And Emily's got her hand on her low belly, or you can place it on the top of the thigh. If you place it on the top of the thigh, you can press downward towards your toes and feel how your low body lengthens towards your foot. 3 more breaths here. And you're going to wrap the outer hip down and forward so that your sitting bone goes down towards your tailbone, and the length that you feel between the right thigh and the right side body expands. And after 5 breaths, the next inhale lifts you back up to center. Release the belt away and let your legs drop. Stretch your arms up overhead and just feel the effect. As you exhale, bring both knees to your chest and bring your hands to the tops of your knees. Good. The next one is an outer hip stretch. It's really helpful if you have low back pain. It's very gentle and very simple. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. I'll give you 2 variations here. The first variation sees the left hand go into the back of the right thigh and clasp your hands as Emily's doing here. So it's called threading the needle or eye of the needle pose. And she's going to lift up this right heel and press the left ankle into the top of the knee. So that creates a little bit of resistance, and you'll wrap the outer hip down. Now it's very important not to press your knee down. Anytime you open the hip, if you press the knee down, it can cause some strain in the knee ligaments. So just move from the hip. She's been here a few breaths. Take 2 more breaths for a total of 5. Inhale, again into the low belly, keeping both sides of the low back to the floor. Exhale. Last breath in, and breath out. And release and change legs. So in this side, we'll show you a slightly different variation. If you have more flexible hips, it's a nice one to do. So you'll take your hands over the top leg and over the top knee. That's it. Okay. As you next exhale, wrap your right hip down. So this one will give you a bit of a hamstring stretch. If you want to tone it down a little bit, you can bend the top knee. And just take the hands to clasp around the kneecap. There you go. Breathe in and breathe out. Hips wrap down, breath into the low belly, and exhale, release. Both feet on the floor. For the next pose, I'm going to take a block and roll over to your left-hand side. We're going to take this block here and place it in between the knees. The reason that we're doing this is so that the low back remains steady and level. Now I'll come right back here. Emily's keeping her hips even and level. She's going to breathe in, squeezing the legs together, and open the right shoulder out to the side. Keeping the hips level. This is important so that you don't twist your low back, right? From here, she's going to move from the back of the rib cage and snuggle this left elbow out. So the twist really occurs in the upper back. And you'll see more when we show you the other side. Take a deep breath in and descend this top hip down. The shoulders open and you get lots of length and space to breathe. This is a really nice one if you sit at a computer all day and your shoulders get quite hunched. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, snuggle the shoulders a little bit more. That's it. And don't worry if this back shoulder doesn't get to the floor right away. Not everyone's got such open shoulders. So you just let it drop down every time you exhale. As you inhale, you come back to the center. Good. And as you exhale, you can shift your hips over to the other side and then take the knees down. So you can see here, we're keeping the two sides of the sacrum, the little triangle of bone in the low back, even. As you inhale, you lengthen. And as you exhale, this bottom shoulder snuggles underneath. So you can sort of squidge it out to the side. Take a breath in. And when you exhale, you just descend this top hip down. And that feels really good. It stretches out the psoas muscle, which goes from the inner thigh all the way into your mid-back. It's very calming for your nervous system to do that, as well as opening your shoulders. Breath in and breath out. And if you want to give yourself a little tiny neck stretch, you can even turn the head to the opposite side as your legs close the eyes. And you can imagine that the roots of your eyes soften and the root of your tongue softens. And then as you inhale, you come back to the center. You can take the block away. And then from here, we're going to keep the feet in line with the sitting bones. And this next pose, is the little bridge pose. And it's a back bend, but it's not too stimulating to do even at night. Right? It's still quite calming because you're not pressing up against gravity. For those of you who practice yoga regularly, doing a full wheel pose isn't a great idea because it's way too stimulating for the nervous system late at night. So the little bridge pose is ideal. As you inhale, you lift your hips high and you keep your feet anchored to the floor. That's it. Good. So the two hips hug into the center. And you've got some variations here. One is to just keep your hands on the floor like Emily's doing here. And another nice variation is to bend your elbows and face your palms towards one another. You're going to wrap the shoulder blades down towards one another on the back, but keep length in the side of your body between your hips and your armpits. It's the back of your skull that rests on the floor, and if you take your chin too far down towards your chest, you'll create strain in the back of the neck. So I suggest that you lift the chin just enough and you'll find the sweet spot where you can breathe freely and evenly. As you inhale, press your elbows down, and it's the back of your skull that rests on the floor. Inhale a long breath all the way up into your chest. This bathes the thyroid and parathyroid area with good circulation, and that part of the body helps to regulate the hormonal functions involved in sleep. As you next exhale, drop your hips back down to the floor, evenly and steadily. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and place your hands on your low belly. We'll take a couple of low belly breaths here, and I call this the Buddha breath. As you inhale, you'll expand your low belly. It's kind of the opposite of a bikini breath, bikini belly. And then as you exhale, you soften. Inhale, big puffy Buddha belly, relaxed belly. And then as you exhale, You can even imagine that the ligaments around your sacrum and your low back relax and release down into the floor, very calming. And the next pose, we're going to roll over onto the side. So Emily's going to roll to her left side. And we'll come into child's pose. So this is a forward bend, and it's a counter pose for the gentle back bend that we just did. And then you send your hips back. She's got her big toes together and her knees wide apart. For some people, having the hips down this low is not possible. So what you can do is if you just lift your hips up slightly, you can place a rolled mat, a bolster, or a rolled blanket right above your ankles, and that'll give you some support. If you can come all the way back down, please do. She's got her elbows on the floor, and the shoulders can relax, and the back of the neck is relaxed. And you breathe deeply into your belly, middle ribs, upper chest, and then exhale all the way down. We'll do 2 more breaths like this. Belly, ribs, upper chest, just minding that you don't scrunch your shoulders when you breathe up, and then all the way back down. Last one, breathe into the belly, the ribs, the chest, and then all the way back down. As you inhale, very gently transition up to sit. Transitions are really important, so you always transition with your breath up and down. The next thing we'll do is 2 marble points in the head. So take a comfortable seat. You can sit up on a bolster like I'm doing here. You can cross the ankles, or if you prefer, you can take the legs behind you, like this. Just make sure that you're comfortable. You can even just sit in the chair as well. So we've got 2 points. The first is at the center of the palm, and the second is at the crook of the index finger and the thumb. And the way that we practice this is by finding a sort of sticky spot. It actually is a little bit painful when you find the right spot. And you're going to take the pad of your thumb and press it right into the center of the palm. Sort of find that little sticky spot. And you're going to inhale and press, and exhale and release. We'll do this 6 times. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. You can do this with eyes closed. I like to take the elbows by the sides. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. That's 3. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. Inhale, press. And exhale, release. When you do these on your own, you can always do them even more slowly. The next point is right here in the crook between the index finger and the thumb. Once again, these marble points aren't good if you're pregnant, so you can miss them out. Right here, you'll find a kind of sticky spot. Push the thumb in, and as you inhale, we'll give you a breath count. Inhale for 2, and exhale, release for a count of 4. Inhale for 2, and release for 4. That's 2. Let's do 4 more. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 4. Inhale. And exhale. And then release the hands. Just take a moment. Notice if you feel a difference between the 2 sides of the body. Feel the hand, feel the arm, feel the whole side. And then we'll change. Taking the thumb again to the very center of the palm, and find the spot that feels a little bit sticky. And it's okay if your fingers curl. You can let the elbows relax, shoulders relax. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Exhalation is twice the length of the inhalation. 5 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more. Last one. The final acupressure point, again, is at the crook of the index finger and the thumb. Find the spot. You can do a little massage there. And then once again, the exhalation is twice the inhalation. Let's do 6. Press and release. Press and release. Press, release. Press, release. And then the last 2. Press and release. Last one. Press and release. Bring the palms to face up, eyes closed. Return to normal breath. You can even feel the floor of your pelvis descend. See if you can feel that, and bring your attention down into the legs and the feet. Stay grounded and steady as you open your eyes slowly, as though coming into a soft focus. And now you're ready to sleep.